So recently, I got the PlayStation 5 Pro. I already have a PlayStation, but I got the PlayStation 5 Pro. So back in, I believe it was 2020, when Cyberpunk 2077 was first released, a lot of people had issues with it. Or maybe they didn't enjoy it that much because it had a lot of bugs. It had a lot of crashes and a lot of stuff that needed to be fixed. Me personally, I dealt with it. It was what it was. I thought some of the bugs were interesting, but I was still able to complete the game and complete the missions within that game. But flash forward to now, we're in 2025. I started playing it all over again after I got the PlayStation 5 Pro. And everything about it is perfect. You know, my first night playing it over again, I was taking some gummies. I was gone. You know what I mean? But I realized something. I realized something. I was like, wow, this is a really good glimpse into the future. Why do I say that? Because when you get into the cyberpunk universe, and I've only this is just from the game. It's able to paint a clear picture of what the future may look like. Why do I say that? It was written by a guy by the name of Mike Pondsmith, if I'm correct. It was written by a dude by the name of Mike Pondsmith, and he wrote it, if I'm correct, because it's based. It started off as a board game, right? But then later on, it became a game. But when he wrote it like in 1980, something like that. But this game, I mean, it gives a clear depiction, like, of what the future may look like, like with technology. And then also, what people also overlook is the politics of everything that's going on within Night City. Check it out. Because I watched a interview with Mike Pondsmith earlier, and he said when you play the game, don't just think about the game, but think about the actual world that you live in and your actual surroundings. And within this game, I want to get to the point. Within this game, the corporations pretty much control everything. The corporations, they control everything, and it made me think. It made me think. This game really made me think and compare it to the actual world in which we live in today. And it made me think about the construct of power. It also forces you, as you're playing the game, right? Check this out. It also forces you to think about how, what type of future we're creating. It makes you think about what type of future, like humanity, as a human society, what type of future are we creating? Are we creating a good future? You know what I mean? Or are we on the path of creating a bad one? It is so much to unpack in this game that it's difficult for me right now to even talk about it because it's a million things going on through in my mind right now. Like when I compare it to the actual world that we living in today, and I'm not trying to get political by any means. This is underground perspective. I try to stay away from politics, but I'm just doing a what you would call a comparison. Like in theory, and this is only in theory, I'm just going to use the presidential elections for example. You can say, or there can be an argument made that this is the first time that a corporation has won a presidential election in 2025. Why do I say that? J.D. Vance was backed by Peter Thiel, and Elon Musk, through his acquisition of X, he backed Trump. You know, and both of those are Silicon Valley guys, right? What do they both have in connection? The Silicon Valley philosopher by the name of Curtis Yarvin. He has this philosophy called the Dark Enlightenment. And within this Dark Enlightenment, he argues that, corporations should really be in control of world governments, which is interesting. And then when you play the game Cyberpunk 2077, who's in control of everything? The corporations, And so it's so much to unpack within this game. And then when you compare it to the actual reality in which we live it in, it gets even more crazier and it gets even more insane. I'm gonna give you an example. I worked at this. I'm working currently. I got this gig at this one place. Inside of a warehouse. I'm not going to tell nobody what I'm doing or nothing like that, but currently, as I sit here, this is inside of a warehouse now, like 150, 130, 150 robots that do the order picking, right? And now they're getting ready to roll in, what do they call that shit? They're getting ready to roll in these automated forklift drivers that you don't even need no fucking human to go and load and unload the stuff from the truck. You don't even need a human to do that. And so as we're going on, this stuff is steadily going to increase. I watched an interview with Elon Musk the other day. He said they plan on 10xing the amount of robots. Right now they have about 100,000. Next year, by the end of this year, they want to have 200,000, and then 300,000, 400,000, and then so on and so on. They want to 10x it. They want to increase the number of them. They even have AI dispatchers. And personally, like I'm not against AI by any means. I'm actually not against AI. The only AI that I don't like is musically. Like I don't believe humans should use, like if you're an artist or something like that, you should not, use AI in any form. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be using AI to cook up beats. You shouldn't be writing lyrics. Like I believe all that shit should be banned. Fuck all that shit. Cause I'm a hip hop guy. I'm a hip hop head. I'm a part of the hip hop culture, and the hip hop is all about originality. And that's what I've strived to do, and I continue to do that every single day. I don't want to be like nobody else. I don't want nobody else to be like me. For me, it's all about originality. Be yourself, and you don't need no help to do that. You know what I mean? Like if it ain't coming from your soul or from your spirit, then don't try to do what the next man doing. Just do your own thing. You know what I mean? Walk up on your own trail, your own path that you create. But back to this game, it is a lot to unpack, and then when you look at the politics surrounding everything that's going on within Night City, it's like the comparison between those politics that they dealing with and then the real world is surreal. It's crazy. The guy, the author, who came up with this whole entire concept, he did such a good job that I wonder if he was a time traveler to the future or something. You know what I mean? Like I really wonder, bruh, he traveled to the future and saw all these things. Mike Pondsmith. I wonder if he did that, because right now I only seen this happen twice. This I did not check this out. It's two things, right, that are close to the human our reality. Even though it's like fantasy, it's not nonfiction. That would be Idiocracy and now Cyberpunk. In my opinion, those two things, the movie Idiocracy and Cyberpunk, is the closest thing to the human reality that I could actually think of. When you watch Idiocracy, there's a bunch of idiots running around all over the place. The and then Cyberpunk, it gives you a picture of what type of world are we creating. Like with everything being automated in the future, and with all this new technology that's rolling out, what's going to happen to jobs? When jobs are not readily available, like tech jobs are out of here, gone. I lot, well, not tech jobs, but IT. A lot of IT. IT jobs, help desk. In the future, I could see that taking over. What are people gonna do when you can't even find a warehouse job? You know what I mean? They even have automated McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like when you go to certain fast food places, across the world, automated McDonald's. I saw one video on YouTube where a guy went to a gas station, I think it was in Japan, and everything was automated. They didn't even have a cashier. The dude, he scanned his ID or whatever to walk into the gas station, and everything was locked up. And if he wanted to buy something, he'll pay for it, and then boom, it will open up, and then he'll get the item in which he paid for, and then the item behind that would immediately come forward, and so on and so on. You get the picture. The item after that he just bought, it'll come up, so somebody else, if they wanted to buy the same item, they could do that. And so, like, when I look at a game like Cyberpunk, and that game, really, I'm being honest with you, that game is for adults. First of all, it's for adults, but I would say it's really for highly intellectual people. Because you just can't play the game and then beat the game. Like, it's actually like, yo, you really have to sit down and you got to do a deep dive. Because the stuff that I see inside of this game, I'm also seeing parallels inside the real world. And in my opinion, one of the most dangerous things we could do as humanity, is to have a world like that one. You know what I mean? Where the corporations control everything, and people are so desperate for money that they willing to do anything to survive, Because when you think about it, it's almost like a glimpse into the future. You know what I mean? And everything, believe it or not, evolves, right? Check this out. Everything eventually evolves, right? The corporations, technology, you know what I mean? Everything evolves, into something bigger and more grandiose in a way, right? So if technology evolves, then guess what? All this other stuff, the police force is evolving with new technology and facial recognition and shit like that. What about criminality? What about the criminal element? And I'm talking about in real life. Those also evolve. You know what I mean? I could see a world like that actually existing, to where, even the criminals, the ones from the underground, they evolve, they get smarter, they can't operate the same way. This is a techno world now. You know what I mean? I don't know if technocratic is the right word, but it sounds fly. It's a technocratic world. It's technology everywhere. You know what I mean? So guess what? The criminal element has to also evolve. And I could see a situation like that in real life because it's evolved so much. You got fixtures doing certain things, and you got people, you know what I mean, going out here doing anything just to get some. And in cyberpunk they call it eddies, but in real life we call it cryptocurrency. Elon Musk, for example, he's on his way to being the world's first trillionaire. And Donald Trump is in office. They trying to get a digital reserve. They trying to use the feds to get a digital reserve. I could see if Bitcoin, check this out, the day Bitcoin hits $1 million, you're going to have corporations, like MicroStrategy, for example. You got MicroStrategy. That's an investment group. They're going to be richer than entire countries. You know what I mean? Right now, you have meme coins who just a meme coin, right? Like a Joe coin, worth more than Toyota. The market cap of the meme coin worth more than Microsoft. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have, and then so a lot of these companies, what are they starting to do now? They starting to buy Bitcoin and buy crypto, and you know what I mean? They starting to put it on their balance sheets. They starting to put it up on their reserves. So that's the world that we living in right now. That's the world that we living in today. And also, we can't front. The world that we living in today is not necessarily a good one. And I could see a world like that one existing. Like I was just reading, right, a news report. Like I was on X, the other day, and I saw something. It was so sad, bro. I mean, it's the saddest thing ever, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the saddest thing ever. It was this Ethiopian girl. She somehow she found her way in Libya, and they were trying to extort her family for like $6,000. Something crazy. Like slavery right now today is happening in different parts of the world. Like in Libya, they have open slave markets in Libya, and they have videos. Like they got videos of the shit. They got videos of it. Like right now, like the things that humans are capable of, human beings, humanity is capable of all type of atrocities. You know what I mean? Like in Cyberpunk, it gives you a glimpse of that. It gives you a glimpse of corruption and the things that human beings are capable of in today's world right now. I mean, it's a perfect parallel of everything that's going on today. Perfect parallel. So I could see the criminal element evolving. Like you got the police, they coming out with all this technology. So guess what? The criminals, they got to evolve too. And then also, I could see a world where a lot of people are jobless, and they gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta do something to survive. This is a capitalistic society. I often joke, like me and one of my colleagues, we talk about this sometimes. Like, what would the world be like if we lived in like a utopian society? You know what I mean? Like how come we can't have a utopian society? How come we can't eliminate extreme poverty? Like, why does extreme poverty still exist? Like why do you have billionaires? Like, even though you got Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, like you got billions of dollars. How come you can't just chill, just go on vacation and enjoy life? Like why does it have to be all about power? Why does it have to be all about politics? Why does, we want society, we want to dictate what people do this way? Curtis Yarvin, I'm pretty sure he's a rich guy. Like, why do you care about these things? Why do you care about nationalism? Why do you care about racism? And, why not use all that money, all that power, all that intellectualism for good. Like why not? And then even if you're not using it for good or something, well, if you should be using it for good, you should only want to be using it for good, right? But still, like, bro, go on vacation. You know what I mean? Go on vacation, man. You shouldn't try to dictate, what the world is going to do unless it's for world peace. You know what I mean? Like these dudes, and literally, and this theory is out there. I'm gonna give you a theory of a program that I saw a week ago that's out there. And the theory is that what Elon Musk, because this whole theory is based off of Curtis Yarvin. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance. Peter Thiel took J.D. Vance under his wing and then, pretty much cultured him to what he is today. Curtis Yarvin guy, he has this theory, and it's a theory that's out there that Elon Musk wants to do this. He wants corporations to pretty much like be in control of America and divide it into different subsections to where, and then he wants the, how could I put it? He wants the corporations to, and then the people who own land, right? The people who own land and they own housing and shit like that, they'll be like the shareholders, right? The people who own land and buildings, they'll be the shareholders, and then they'll be able to vote on what the corporation does with this government. You know what I mean? Like, so they're trying to do that right now. So Elon Musk, he got Donald Trump, Peter Thiel, so they all got stuff that they want to do. And so in this real world, like in United States politics, you have the Republicans in control of both House and Senate. Again, I'm not trying to get political by any means. I'm not trying to get political, but I do wonder what society would be like right now if he didn't win that election. If Donald Trump would have lost the election, or if it was stolen from him, who knows? If Kamala Harris would have stole the election, who cares? Like, I do wonder what society would be like. Years ago, and I think I said this on one of my other videos, I worked overnight. And I worked overnight, and it was at a particular place, but I was able to interact with a lot of different people. I was able to interact with a lot of different people, and I also learned a lot about human psychopathy, human psychology. I learned a lot about it. And years later, flash forward a couple of years, 'cause I got some experiences. I got some stories that I can tell that blow your mind. But flash forward a couple of years, I was no longer working at that place. I was actually working at a university, at a college university. And I'll never forget this. There was this person that worked there. Shout out to Mike Kemper. Mike Kemper or Mike Kempler. I don't know his name, but he worked security at that building, right? And he would sit there and he would do acrylic artwork all day. And then so one day after they graduated, we actually went up to the top of the university and we could overlook everything. We were able to overlook everything, the whole, like, so we were up there at the top of the building and we were watching like human interaction, and we kind of like studied it in a way. Like, to me, I've always found that fascinating. We were studying the body language and everything. That's how come I find stuff like this interesting. And only met like two people like that was on the same wavelength. Another one would be my roommate, my old roommate I had years ago. We would talk about stuff like this and chop it up for hours, just really highly intellectual shit, but I do wonder what it would have been like, if what society would be like if she won that election. And she somehow rigged it or stole it from Donald Trump. How would humans react? Because we saw the first time how they acted, January 6th. So how would they react after this one? And another thing I'm interested in this real world, how are humans going to react once Bitcoin hits $1 million per coin? There was a good piece written about this by this so-called Bitcoin time traveler. The Bitcoin time traveler, I believe it was fake, but the way he described it, it was a whole piece written about it. It made perfect sense, and how like society collapsed because you had all these corporations became too rich and too powerful. Like corporations that are worth more than entire governments. You know what I mean? That's how come like I like stuff like this, because it's a lot of sociology going on. It's a lot of human psychopathy going on that's in play. Like what type of world are we creating? What type of world are we creating? Are we creating a good world? Are we creating a bad one? How come we can't have utopia? A world where everybody works together for the better of mankind. That's the type of world I would like. You know what I mean? Imagine being able to go to work 3 days a week. We could live alongside AI. I believe this. That's how come I'm not against robots and completely and artificial intelligence. You know what I mean? I'm only against it if people use it for art purposes or creative purposes. That's my only vice with it. Like if you're using it to create music, art, or write movies, you know what I mean? No. Write journalistic articles, nah. You know what I mean? That's the human experience. That's something that comes from the soul. So I'm not against, we working along. Imagine being able to go to work 3 times a week. And then the rest of the time, you just focusing on your hobbies. You focusing on your family. You know what I mean? Imagine us being able to eliminate extreme poverty. Like Cyberpunk, as great as it is, it gives us a glimpse of, this is where humanity is headed. And it's a great predictor of the future. It's almost like the writer, he's almost like Mike Pondsmith. He's almost like a Nostradamus. He's almost like a Nostradamus because this is where we are headed. And you cannot rationally tell me that you could play this game and you look at it and look and do a deep dive in it and say, there's no comparison to the real world in which we live in. That's bullshit. 'Cause I see a big comparison between that and the world we live in today. And I can see right now, I can see us headed there. I can see where people are desperate for work. That they do anything to survive. I could see that, to where they have like an underground market, and then they have a fixer fixing jobs. We're gonna rob this because check it out. Even criminals, are having a hard time. You know what I mean? Even criminals are having a hard time. Like imagine being a criminal nowadays. You try to go rob somebody and they got their credit card. They got their debit card. Well, if you take their credit card, their debit card, you go use it somewhere, they're going to be able to track it. You know what I mean? You go use it at a Walmart, a grocery store, or a GameStop. Oh, we got you on video walking in using it. we got you on video. We got you here. You try to buy something from Amazon, get it delivered to your crib. Oh, we got you. Technology, facial recognition, DNA, all that shit everywhere. And they're already starting to merge man with machine, which I'm not against. I'm not against merging man with I think they call it transhumanism. I'm not against that at all. The CEO of Coinbase, for example, Brian Armstrong, I read an article about this. He has a company on the side where they focus on human life extension. And a lot of these billionaires, they have that. You don't think Elon Musk have a company on the side that's private where he focuses on life extension? You know, a lot of these billionaires, they have that. The where they can focus life extension and different medical programs to extend their life like an extra 100, 150 years, you know. Human beings, they're gonna want a piece of that. Humanity, people who are broke, who can't afford that type of shit, they're gonna want a piece of that. You know, when flying cars start coming out, like a technology convention just ended, and then a Chinese company just unveiled a flying car. You know what I mean? That's in existence right now. You don't think your average everyday person would drive around a flying car and live? Because that's all people want. That's all human beings want, is that everybody is striving and searching for happiness. And when people can't find that happiness and they unhappy, and you need money to survive. You know, I don't care what you say. And people say money can't buy you happiness. They have a study that's proven that that's wrong. You know what I mean? You even need money to go shop at Whole Foods and eat healthy, eat stuff with non-GMO. You know, water nowadays is becoming more expensive than pop. You know, like LeBron James, for example, he spends somewhere up to like $1 million each year on his health. That's how come he's able to play at his age at such a high level. He spends like up to $1 million a year just on his personal health. You know, so we live in a society, in a world right now where you need money just to be healthy. You know, and I think I may do a series on this. I got the other series, the What If series, that's the hip hop series, you know, with Tupac and all that. But I may do a separate one on this one, because right now I haven't even gotten to the movies. I plan on getting into the movies, and I plan on reading the books. But this is just surface level, like, you know, theories and breakdowns. It's just me as a fan, you know, like, because I like stuff like this. Like I say, I like having deep conversations, you know, like me and my roommate. Like I said, I only met two people like that's like operate on the same wavelength. Me and my roommate used to get drunk, you know, and we'll be talking about this type of stuff for hours. It'll be like as Tyrion Lannister was talking to Littlefinger, you know, and they just drunk in the 21st century and they just kicking it, you know. We'll be, you know, 'cause this is the type of stuff that I like. You know what I mean? So I have to do a deep dive on this. I have to get into the books and get into the television series, because I really think that the creators of this world, this universe, they were on to something, and they do a beautiful job. They do a beautiful job of painting like a picture of the future. You know, I mean, all the way down to the aesthetics. I mean, all the way down to the littlest detail. They do a beautiful job, you know. And if you're a person that likes, you know, to go into deep stuff, you know, the person that's always thinking deeply about stuff like I am, you will love this game. You know, again, I did not make this. I'm not trying to get political. I stay away from politics, you know, but every now and then I will talk about it. Every blue moon. You know, again, nothing political. I'm just giving my thoughts and my opinions about this great game, you know, and I hope they continue to make more content. The next go around, because right now I'm playing the base game. I plan on beating it again, but the next time I beat it, I'm gonna get the 2.0. I know they got the 2.0 out, and I also plan on beating it with all of the DLCs. You know what I mean? I plan on I'm gonna get all the DLCs, and I'm gonna beat that too. So it's an underground perspective, rambling, checking in, checking out, man. I hope everybody have a wonderful day.